Our rules are simple, but the challenge is great. All dinos will be explored in this challenge, but only reasonable underdogs voted on by the community will be considered for grading. Equipped with official server cap saddles, our 19 contenders will be backed by the commanding presence of a loyal Uranus providing that extra boost. All competitors will go into battle with food to provide a healing effect. Herbivores will have plenty of sweet veggie cakes, and carnivores and omnivores will have cooked meat. It's important to note that tames in this series aren't typically used during boss battles because of the amount of mutations you need to make them competitive. But all dinos competing will have around 23,000 health and 1200% melee. This will give them all a fair shot at defeating at least one of the guardians. It won't always be feasible to reach these stats depending on the dinos I'm using, but I'll let you know the amount of mutations and levels it took in order to reach it. All competitors start out with 50 base health and melee and 40 points in everything else before I apply mutations and experience levels. You can decide on your own servers if the juice is worth the squeeze. Competitors are required to fight the megapithecus, broodmother, then dragon on all difficulties, starting with gamma, then beta, finishing with alpha. Their success will be annotated on this scorecard with a pass or fail system. Clearing all the bosses earns them a gold boom medal. Silver is awarded for clearing beta, bronze is for clearing gamma, and the chunk of shit is for an unworthy performance. Once all expansion creatures are finished, the gold medal winners will test their strength against the overseer for the finale. Now let's introduce our competitor and see if they have what it takes. Karkinos. These disgusting crustaceans can be found smashing random fish in the waterways on Aberration. They're a useful tame with a high carry weight, radiation immunity, and the ability to carry and throw survivors and some creatures. The stats required for this competition will reach with 3 mutations and 81 experience levels. 0 mutations and 9 levels went to health, and 3 mutations and 72 levels went into melee. Now let's see if they have what it takes. The green portal is up and the Krusty Krabs are ready to take on the Gamma Megapithecus and the posse of apes. The moment I spawned into the arena, 2 Karkinos randomly died. The hardest part about using Karkinos for these boss battles is that they can't fit without some creative ways to get them all in the same area. The deaths only happened on the Megapithecus arena, so we actually had to do all the monkey fights with 17 undercrabs. I didn't have any of the issues with them dying in any other arenas. The damage output from the Karkinos is actually kind of terrible. They hit for a decent amount, sure, but they attack slow when controlled by AI, and since they're so damn large, you never get the full impact of all the Karkinos hitting at the same time. Either way, it was enough to put down the Gamma Megapithecus, earning a pass. The Gamma Broodmother is up next, and I was truly curious how this would play out. The Megapithecus fight took a relatively long time compared to other creatures, and if the Broodmother fight has taught us anything, it's that you can't take your time with her. The longer the Broodmother fights take, the higher chance you have of losing. Karkinos doesn't have that problem at the Gamma stage. And also, pay attention to the amount of mutations and levels it took to get here. You could easily come into these fights with about 50,000 health or more, no problem. The Gamma Broodmother proves to be no match for the undercrabs, and they earn a solid pass. The Gamma Dragon is up next, and we have 2 immediate problems. First, the Karkinos is not small by any stretch of the imagination. That means they're not going to be able to huddle around the Dragon Toes, and they're going to take the full effect from his attacks. The second problem is, they take aggro from Commander Utes. Now normally, you might be thinking, so what? My Rex isn't there, Xenos take aggro, big deal. That's great, but the Karkinos takes up twice as much room as the Rex, and you just can't do enough damage to the dragon to make it count. The undergrabs take fire breath after fire breath, and eventually it proves to be too much for them, even though they smell absolutely delicious. Crab meat needs to be added to the game. Oh my god, I could seriously go for some crab legs right about now. It's been a while since the Gamma Dragon beat a creature, and I surely didn't expect it to happen today. But here we are. That's a fail. Blue portal time means beta time, and the Beta Megapithecus is up next. I'll be honest, after the Gamma Dragon fight, I was a bit on edge for the rest of these. I was able to boost my confidence during this fight with my new Boomsmith drinking mug and my Commander Utes t-shirt, though. Stick around at the end and I'll talk about it. The Beta Megapithecus isn't difficult, and the undercrabs are able to weather the monkey storm long enough to take him out, earning another pass. Beta Broods. She's a spicy one. Don't get too caught up on only doing alpha fights if it's your first time. I know the alpha ascension is the ultimate prize, but if you've never done an alpha boss fight, then I'd highly recommend testing your army out against the Beta Broodmother. She's tough and can easily take your squad out. The undercrabs are able to do some decent damage, but it's clear to me based off how much time this fight takes that the Krabby Patties aren't going to make it against the Alpha Broodmother. They're kinda difficult to maneuver around the arena, but through the power of crab magic, they're able to output enough pain to take out the Beta Broodmother and earn a pass. Red portal time means alpha time, and the Alpha Megapithecus is up next. I honestly didn't think we'd make it to the alpha stage, but here we are. It's not often that the Alpha Megapithecus beats a creature, but I had a feeling he was going to have some crab taxidermies in his lair after this. The Alpha Megapithecus isn't difficult, you just need to be mindful of the knockback. The minions in this fight and the megapithecus all have some heavy knockback, and they can easily push your creatures off the cliff and take them out. Fortunately, the undercrabs are big enough to keep the alpha megapithecus in one area and eventually take him down, earning another pass. So, as you know, Mama Broods and I have been back together for about a week, and this 2-timing hooker gave me crabs. I was so damn mad that I dipped my nuts into an element river on Aberration, and it turned them into these big-ass things. Don't ask how I managed to walk here with these things in my pants. It's not important. What's important is taking out this contagious lot lizard and making her pay for breaking my heart again. I don't think I'll ever recover from this one. It hurts too deep. I might need to take a break from dating for a couple hours. I mean, you know, until I get cured, too, of course. Mama Broods is apparently well versed in battling elemental boosted crotch crickets because she made short work of them and then turned her sights on me. I tried to get away, but her rage was just too great, and she put me down. That's a fail for the undercrabs. Heading over to the scoreboard, the undercrabs are awarded a chunk of shit for an unworthy performance. As I said early on, you can easily mutate these guys a lot more and come into these fights heavily boosted, so don't let this score upset you. Some of you may be crab fans, but please understand that there's a reason why we use these stats we use, and that's to keep these tests standard across the board. Now let's talk about some merchandise. I recently opened up a shop with Fourth Wall. You can find the link in the description of this in future videos. The goal is to eventually be able to make a Commander Utes plush, but we need 300 pre-orders before they can make it, so that's going to be a long way to go. For the time being, I decided to set this up just for some fun so that you have a different avenue to support me if you want. I'll be adding more stuff in the future as well, so keep an eye out. As of now, I got a mug, glass, shirt, and a hoodie with my basic logo. I kept it minimal and got a Commander Utes t-shirt made as well. I ordered all of these items and honestly, they're pretty damn decent quality. I was actually surprised. And just to be transparent with everyone, anything you purchase donates $5 to me. It gives you an option to donate more, but you don't have to since I already priced it in. If you want to though, I'm not going to complain. But yes, this is just an avenue for you to support me, and it kind of gives you something back as well. You know, at least you get something out of it. And as always, I love feedback, so if you think I should change something or have any ideas, hop in the Discord and hit me up. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.